It's Meakashi, which translates to eye-opening. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Just right. Oh, we just going right in? Oh, no. Okay. Wait, why does it look like this? What did they do? Oh, whoa, whoa. This looks weird. Ew. This arc includes choices that were added in the console version. These choices result in dialogue changes and can lead to bad ends. Do you want to see these choices? Yes. She dropped her beads in the sand, so the girl cried for 100 years. The girl searched the sands. They might be in the ocean, not the sand, so the girl cried for 100 years. The girl searched the ocean. They might be in the mountains, not the ocean, so the girl cried. How many years will pass before the girl wonders if she really dropped them? 7 keys were attached to the keychain. Without knowing which key was the correct one, I had to go by instinct and try every key one by one. On average, I reached the correct key within 3.5 attempts. I'd be fortunate if I could open the lock within the first 3 keys, and I'd be unfortunate if I didn't. I had to think of the worst case scenario, getting the right key only on the very last attempt. I fought with my nervousness. My head ached from it. I put the key in and turned it. I just needed to repeat the small procedure several more times, but I couldn't stop shaking. Damn. Even a 3-year-old kid can do something this easy. So am I more childish than a 3-year-old? Whatever, I don't care if I'm clumsy. I just need to try all these keys. Even in the worst case scenario, the lock will open on the 7th try. Oh shit, is Shion breaking into the fucking... Reality isn't always the same as math. What happened was worse than my worst case scenario. None of the keys worked at all. I could feel the blood draining from my brain. What is Shion doing? Did I get the wrong set of keys? No, I definitely see a faint marking that says this set is for this door. Am I just reading it wrong? Should I go back to the key cabinet to look for the right one? That would mean a great loss of time. Just by being here, I'm already risking so much. Chad, this is why I feel like... Remember when I said Shion's a little sus? Right? What if I've been right this whole time from that original guess? Like, from chapter 2. That is actually... was a Shion Mion swap, and it was actually Shion the whole time that's been fucking manipulating everything. And that's why in chapter 3, or was it chapter 4, where Shion is suddenly outraged when we talk about Satoshi, right? And that's why now we're starting with Shion immediately on the eye-opening chapter, because it's like, oh, you thought Shion was okay, but she's actually the one behind everything the whole time, right? Something that could ruin everything might happen at any moment. If I can't open this lock, do I have to go back to the administration office? If there were no other choice, it'd be a waste of time to spend another second here. The administration office wouldn't necessarily be empty at this time. Somebody might come in. I won't be able to look for the right key if that happens. I stood up quickly as if electrified. I was almost in a panic and so felt the urge to move. My instincts pushed me. I have to go back there as quickly as possible. It's dangerous to be here, and it's also dangerous if somebody comes into the administration office. I cooled my head, making it as chilly as possible to repress my fear. Calm down, Shion. Mion wouldn't panic in this situation. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Why don't I try the keys one more time? The next moment, I felt a faint vibration in the air. Somebody was walking somewhere in the hallway. If it were a normal situation, I would have known. I wouldn't run into them, since the footsteps were very far away. But at the time, I couldn't think calmly. Ah, shit. Why am I panicking this much just because of footsteps? Calm down, calm down. I should be feeling excited instead. Calm down, calm down. I just need to do what I have to do. I should ignore the footsteps because they're not an immediate threat. Pretend they aren't there. I have to listen for something much more important right now. Ah, shit, this key should be hard and cold, but it's pliable and hot. It feels like rubber. How could I stick this into the keyhole? Shit, shit, shit. It wasn't the key that was pliable. It's my fingers that were limp. Ah, shit, shit, shit. The key sprung out of my hand and fell to the floor. It shouldn't have made any sound because it was so pliable, but it made a tremendous metal noise as if somebody pushed over a cupboard. Cling! Sound almost stopped my heart. I felt dizzy for a while. I looked around afterwards to carefully see if I caused any disturbance to the surroundings. Calm down, calm down. Nothing's changed. I don't hear anything. So, am I safe? Aw, shit. Wait, I don't hear anything. What about those footsteps in the distance? Calm down, calm down, calm down. Are they looking for me after they notice the sound? Ah, shit, what is the sound I'm hearing? Is it my sweat dripping on the floor? Shut up, shut up, shut up. How could I hear the sound of my sweat? Calm down, calm down, calm down. Calm the fuck down. I have to clarify. This isn't a prison or a detention center. It's a private school. Wait, what? Not a normal one, though. It costs a fortune just to get in. It's a boarding school that provides education from elementary school to university. Being for girls only rather than a school, you could say it's a factory that manufactures ladies. Some of my classmates have never even used public transportation. Really, it isn't normal. To me, saying how nice to see you instead of just hi is also insane. And calling the teachers sisters give me the creeps. I hate the mornings and even prayers, to say nothing of the Sunday Mass. I don't want to memorize the Bible passages, and the Holy Ghost gives me a rash. If I stayed in this institution, that's what I call the place, for many years, I'd either go crazy or we'd get brainwashed. Most of the girls choose to be brainwashed, but I can't do that. After all, I was more impressed by the political schemes and international trade behind religious propagation than by the love of God which the Bible teaches. Because of that, I've been treated as a problematic child from the beginning. Experienced lots of disadvantages as a result. I realized that quickly, so I superficially pretended to be normal. However, I got tired of acting, so I started to reveal my true self from time to time. I became a problematic child once again. People started to treat me differently once again. It's fun to misbehave, but it wouldn't do anything for me in the long run. So why did I act that way? Why, even though I knew it was going to backfire on me later on? After examining my emotions, I realized that I'd completely had it with my surroundings. I was afraid of being brainwashed in this institution. I can't live here. I won't let them brainwash me. 6 months ago, I decided to escape this place. The moment I made up my mind, I started to feel alive again. I acted ladylike in order to deceive the sisters. Pretending became fun once I set my goal. It gave me the creeps when they told me with smiles that it was God's influence that I started to behave religiously. I laughed at them behind their backs. I took on my classmates' duties in order to understand the layout of the school and the schedules of the staff and guards. I soon found out that the security of the school was immensely tight because there were many daughters of important people living here. The guards walked their beat randomly. There were surveillance cameras everywhere. The system that kept out intruders ironically also worked to prevent escapees, but that excited me instead. I simulated how to avoid all the surveillances in my head many times. I drew an escape route in the corner of my notes during class and tested if it worked. I strove to acquire any necessary skills for the escape. It was all fun. After all, the situation was cathartic for me. That's who I am. No matter how hard they tried to brainwash me, I'd never change. I've been waiting for the moment of my escape, preparing physically and mentally. First, I need the courage to escape. I had to be confident of the plan. I had to think deeply about it. I also needed skills and physical strength. I imagined all the possible obstacles and trained myself. It's funny because I was finally able to enjoy gym classes, even the long distance runs. I needed a perfect plan as well as the physical strength and skills necessary to execute it. Okay. Also, supported by those things, I needed determination. I made sure that I had all I needed and executed the plan. Wait, this is the fucking hotel we were in last chapter. I decided to plant a seed in school before the appointed day. The seed was a rumor that one of the male teachers was having a relationship with a student. It's probably not a rumor. I won't go into details now, but that can turn into an enormous problem in the school. The school is limited to girls precisely because their parents want to avoid those kinds of problems. Those parents are mostly important people from various positions. If the romance was a fact and was leaked to the public, the principal would have to commit suicide in shame. In fact, even that might not be enough. In the world of girls, rumors spread fast. Especially when they're separated from boys and are obsessed with dirty thoughts. What? So this kind of rumor goes around really quickly. The sisters tried to get rid of that kind of rumor and they warned the students not to be swayed by it. But apparently they're the ones who are most swayed by those rumors. This means that I managed to make them furtively deal with something shady without contacting families or the authorities. So if I disappeared in these circumstances, it looked like I ran away with some teacher. All the male teachers would deny it, of course. However, the school wouldn't believe what they said so easily. After all, there's a dirty rumor going around. By the time the school finds out about my escape, after they eliminate all other possibilities, I'll be somewhere safe. I tried hard to spread the rumor that I was involved in the forbidden romance as widely as possible. Hey, stop that, you doggy. What's wrong with you? The sister questioned me a few times, but since the romance was something I'd made up, they couldn't find anything. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't find any evidence. After 3 months, I was certain that I created a solid foundation. I swapped after dinner duties with my classmates so that I could adjust my schedule on this day. I was even able to fill them with suspicion about me by doing that. Now they'll definitely suspect I ran away with some male teacher. Tonight was the night. I began my chores after dinner. After the lights out, somebody will find out about my disappearance. My generous roommates would probably wait about 10 minutes before she reported me to a sister, but no longer than that. I had about an hour tops, but that's enough for me. I took a step off my regular route. That was the first step towards my great escape. I calmed down and thought, the key shouldn't be wrong. This lock is old and firm. Isn't it possible that I put the right one in, but the lock was just stiff and I only thought I got the wrong one? I realized that my nervousness was making me clumsy. The gloves that I'm wearing to avoid leaving fingerprints must be getting in the way too. I should try the keys one more time. I picked the most probable one and gently inserted it into the keyhole. It's stiff. If I twist it too strongly, I might break the key. The moment I thought of giving up, I felt something in my fingertips. The key worked. I slowly opened the door. I could hear the crickets. I don't have to hesitate now. But somehow I'm reluctant to step outside. I can still make excuses up to this point. It might look awkward, but I still can. But if I take a step outside now, there can be no excuses. If the guards find me, they'll take me to the office immediately. There have been escape attempts before. That's not really so strange. I don't think I'm the only heathen here. It's understandable that there have been people before who wouldn't fit into this place. So the school is well aware of the possibility of escapees. I've heard rumors about what happened to those who were caught while attempting to escape. I don't want to believe any of those stories, though. You see, all the school's horror stories involve students who attempted escapes. Whatever, bring it on. I'm not expecting to get a second chance anyway. There'll always be only one chance. Things get serious beyond this door. I psyched myself up and pushed the door open. A strong smell was hanging in the air. Is that normal for the outside? I'd never smelled this strong grassy smell before. Is there something going on? Do I have to be wary of it? Should I go back and wait for another chance? That's silly. There's nothing strange going on. The smell is something I smell every day. I just wasn't aware of it. It's true, isn't it? Even though I pretend to be cool, I'm nothing but a nervous wreck. Oh shit, it's Shion! Calm down. Calm down, Shion. I can rely only on the map inside my head from this point onward. I'd researched the locations of all the surveillance cameras. I'm confident that I'll be able to avoid all of them. But I'm not sure about the guards. They pick their patrol routes randomly after all. I have to take a chance. I can hide myself in most places, but there's an area where there's nowhere to hide for several meters. I concentrated to keep my senses keen. Well, I have to depend on my luck in the end. Even if I do my best, the guard might find me by mere chance. On the contrary, I might be able to get away no matter how unwisely I choose to move if I'm lucky. Damn, after all that effort, it just boils down to luck. Aha! This is a gamble after all. When I realized that, I got excited. Yes, this is a gamble. Oh, she's a gacha player, bro. I'm trying my luck. This is a game to test the determination to change my life. If somebody failed to escape from school, that meant they didn't have enough luck to survive in the real world. But I'm different. I'm gonna win 50-50. I'm getting a double. Here goes, Shion. I ignored the noisy bugs and concentrated only on suspicious sounds. I heard no threats. The loudest sound wasn't the bugs, it was my own heartbeat. Crunch. Even my own footsteps were so loud they could break my eardrums. With each and every step, my overactive imagination tormented me with premonitions of unexpected run-ins with guards. Countless times, that torture grew too hard to bear and I thought of running. But if I broke into a run, the noise I made would only draw suspicion. If anyone heard running at a time and place where people shouldn't be, they would realize something abnormal was happening. But if the footsteps they heard were just walking, then they'd likely think nothing of it. Of course, I don't plan on even letting them hear those footsteps. I tried to extend my senses to get as much information as possible. I didn't sense anyone's presence. I might have felt safer if I heard a guard in the distance. I'm worried that my senses might not be keen enough to detect everything. Somebody might be behind me, without me being aware of it. I didn't want to make any noise, so I stopped from time to time. It's like I'm constantly fidgeting. To stop or to run, something which urged me to choose from either one. I can't choose to stop. I have to keep going quickly and stealthily. I'm already risking so much just by being here. Running, of course, would be absurd. I know that. The urge to run continued to bug me. My head was filled with those thoughts as I went through this dangerous territory. I succeeded passing through without running into anybody. I couldn't help but sit for a moment and exhale the rotten air from my lungs. My negative thoughts vanished quickly. Just a little more to go. Just a little more. Just through that bush over there is a fence that separates this place from the outside world. Once again, I strongly felt the urge to run. I suppressed that desire and carefully tackled the final steps. The beautiful looking fence didn't seem designed to prevent escapes. While I was worried that somebody might see me climbing up the fence, it fortunately didn't happen. It's even possible that this fence might have touch sensors. It's too late now. Doesn't mean anything now since I'm already climbing up. From the top, the fence seemed about 7 feet high. I have to go down carefully, just like when I climbed up. I knew that logically, but I couldn't think that way anymore. I chose to jump off with no hesitation. Of course, I regretted my decision during the fall. I got scared because the flight was longer than I expected. I didn't land beautifully. I fell onto my butt, but there was nobody around to laugh, and I didn't have time to be embarrassed. I looked around to see if anybody heard my landing. Even the crickets weren't interested in the sound I made. I felt relieved. I looked at my watch. Watch where, huh? 5 minutes till 8 p.m. It was just a 15-minute escape. Putting a number to it really made it obvious how short it had been. Looking back, most of the time, I was just asking myself questions and hesitating. Hey, fucker. Fucking dog. I guess I worried too much. But I can't be too relaxed just yet. There's no guarantee that I fooled all the cameras. This place isn't a bank. There won't be a fire alarm going off, even if the guards did see me. It's possible they're rushing this way right now. I can't enjoy the air of freedom yet. I hid myself in the darkness and waited. There's still time left until the rendezvous. Wait, rendezvous? Who's she meeting up with? Okay. I watched the school premises while waiting, but it looked like nothing strange was going on. The building was lit up, and the beautiful Western-style architecture made it hard to believe that it was a school. It should be armed with electrifying wires, searchlights, and guard dogs like the prison it is. Oh my god, Tony, that's the biggest fucking booger I've ever seen on his eyes. Ew, motherfucker. It's nasty. Fucking eye boogies. I thought I'd experience a surge of school memories in a situation like this. But it didn't happen. That sort of thing only happens when you have good memories. I have no good memories of this school, so there's nothing to remember. But if I could pick a series of images to recall, it'd be the luxurious dinners we had every night. So my memories would be nothing but international cuisine. Japanese, Chinese, French, and so on. What the hell? That's just too funny. Burst into laughter. At that point, I heard a car approaching. Crouched in the darkness. The plate number is the same as I was expecting. That's the car. I jumped out and rushed to the passenger side, then opened the door and got in.
お勤めご苦労様です。シオンさん。
Oh shit. The driver was a man of early old age. What the fuck is early old age? He'd be angry if he heard me say that though. He thinks he's still middle-aged. He looked at my face and learned that I succeeded. He smiled.
シャバの空気は久しぶり。とにかく今は銀シャリが食いたいかな。
学園では上品なお料理ばかりが出てると聞いてましたが、シオンさんにだけは麦飯が出ていたんですか？
バカ、そんなわけないでしょ。冗談に決まってるじゃない。ほら、笑ってる暇があったらとっととアクセルを吹かす。
はいはい、仰せのままに。
Kasai really did laugh out loud. After telling me to buckle up, he accelerated. The cathedral-like school disappeared from the mirror in an instant. Disappeared so quick that I didn't have time for a surge of dinner memories. Goodbye, my lovely school days. Haha, I'm going to fill my stomach with junk food from now on. I'll forever be free from the table manners you taught me. Aha! Serves you right. As we drove, the scenery began to change. Soon we were surrounded by vast fields of crops and few streetlights. It reminded me that this was just the countryside of Japan, not
お
Europe.
腹は空いてないですか？どこか飯の食えるところへ寄りましょうか？
食事してるからいい。
I lied. I'm actually a bit hungry. I didn't eat much at dinner to avoid slowing myself down with a full stomach. Appreciate Kasai's offer, but I didn't feel like taking the time to eat while we were still in enemy
こ
territory.
の時間ですから高速に上がってしまうとサービスエリアへ寄っても自販機しかないですよ。まあ最近はハンバーガーとかの自販機もありますけど、そうそう、聞いた話では最近じゃおでんの自販機もあるって
Hamburger vending
話です。
machines in the 1980s?
はあ？何それ？コーヒーの自動販売機みたいに器がポロッと出てきて押したボタンの具がボトボトっと落ちてくるわけ？気持ち悪い。
そういうのじゃないらしいですよ。おでんの缶詰になってるそうで、それがゴロンと出てくるらしいんです。
あ、ごめん。缶詰はパス。
缶詰、相変わらずダメなんですか？
Kasai sounds like Gendo, kind of.
もう子供じゃないでしょうに。
嫌なもんは嫌なの。うっさいな。もう何笑ってんの？
Kasai chuckled. He must have been trying to help me relax. He isn't usually so talkative.
私は疲れちゃったよ。少し寝させてもらいます。これリクライニングどうやって倒すの？
そっちの左側の根元を探ってみてください。レバーみたいなのがありませんか？
うん、あったあった。よっこらしょっと。
Kasai laughed
何か
again.
面白いこと私した？
いえいえ、よっこらしょなんていう若くない言葉遣いがどことなくミオンさんに似ておられたもので。
Well, obviously, Mion and I are identical twins. We're perfect copies of each other. When I react to something, so will Mion. When Mion reacts to something in a certain situation, I'll react the same way.
お姉は元気？
多分元気かと。私も親族会議の席に親父さんをお連れするときに少しすれ違う程度ですし。
そっか。お姉はもう実家じゃないんだったね。南沢の鬼ババのとこだっけ？
シオンさんが学園に入られるのと一緒の時期に園崎本家に移られました。
I responded with disinterest even though I was the one to ask about her in the first place. The main house is where Oryu, the current leader of the Sonozaki family, lives. That's where my grandma, who I call a hag. But when we use the phrase the main house, it usually means more than just a dwelling. What Kasai refers to is the same
少し
thing.
は変わった？
Check phone? Okay. Hang on, chat. Okay. Yeah, Chad, I hate to say it. We're actually, Lily just texted me, we're replacing Dodi. Yep, we got a new dog.
ミオンさんがですか？
そう。あのばあさんと朝から晩まで顔を合わせてりゃ少しは変わるでしょ。
Kasai chuckled yet again. Cats are better, that's just wrong. He knows I hate my grandma.
私が見る限り変わったようには感じません。
We're not replacing you, Dodi. It's okay.
シオンさんの知っているミオンさんのままですよ。
Okay, hang on. What?
私はどう？私は変わった？
いいえ、全然。
Kasai responded quickly with a smirk. I haven't seen him for a while though, so it's not fun if he answers this quickly. I glared at him and then he burst out laughing.
全然変わっておられませんよ。あれだけのお嬢様学校に入られたのに全く変わらないというのは驚くに値します。
チェー、好きなだけ笑ってろ。私は寝るよ、寝る。
後ろの席に毛布がありますよ。使ってください。
うん、ありがとう。
I grabbed the blanket and rolled up in it. I'm exhausted, but I can't go to sleep. It's strange. Or maybe not. Must be tired from the escape. It's just that I'm still feeling tense. So I have to declare it once again, if only to calm myself.
寝る。私は寝るよ。
はいはい。さっきからもう3回目です。
I don't understand why. Then was Shion just not going to school the whole time?
それとも私が許可しないと寝れないんですか？
今日のあんたは喋りすぎ。あんたが少し黙っててくんないと眠気も引っ込んじゃう。
失礼しました、姫君。ではしばらく黙らせてもらいます。
Do they know? Well, they have to, right? Because Mion knows. This interaction with Kasai reminded me of the old peaceful days in Okinomiya. Well, I don't really know if I can call those days peaceful. We were in the middle of the dam process back then, after all. We all united, and now that I think about it, we pulled a lot of pretty dangerous stunts. If the authorities ever found out what I did, I never escaped going to juvie. Holy shit, fat Asian, think of her to 42 months. Well, at least half the people in Hinamizawa would be off to prison. We didn't think of them as criminal acts, though. It was a war. It might also have been a festival. A festival where every person in Hinamizawa joined together in protest. It was a struggle, but it was also fun. It was fun to throw stones at the riot place with everybody. We hid ourselves in somebody's home when they chased after us. We'd even go crowd around the police station demanding the release of our arrested comrades. When we snuck into the construction site and sabotaged it, it felt more like we were playing at war than conducting one. I got so excited back then. I felt united with my fellow members even though they were strangers to me, and that memory warms my heart. Yes, the way it felt back then was like helping everyone to carry a sacred palanquin through the village, getting all sweaty and exhausted together. Until we all collapsed face first on the ground and shared our excitement and cheers with unfamiliar faces over tea. I was just a kid back then. I remember accompanying young men who worked for my dad out to the village to do various bad things. I was arrested a few times. It didn't feel any different though than when I was called to the teacher's office for forgetting my homework. The other villagers were furious about the dam project, but for those of us who were kids at the time, it was a pretty fun memory. All that came to a sudden end a few years ago. It wasn't only the power of the protest that ended the dam construction project. The Sonozaki family and my dad's organization had worked secretly in the shadows. This is top secret information in the Sonozaki family, but it's said that may or may not have kidnapped the Minister of Construction's grandson in order to blackmail him. The grandson was found a few days after the abduction. He was found in the mountains of Yaguchi. He didn't simply disappear, and he wasn't demoned away. That means some kind of deal was made secretly. A year after that, the dam construction plan was halted indefinitely. The police suspected the villagers' involvement and investigated, but they couldn't find any leads. The villagers never betrayed each other. They'd do anything to protect their fellow man. They fabricated fake alibis and faked evidence. It was easy to deceive the police. Gah. Oh, the car suddenly shook, snapping me out of it. It must have been run over a bump or something. Suddenly I realized my expression was a very happy one for some reason. Ah, must be looking forward to
シ
going
オン
home.
さん起きてますか？
何？
お帰りですが、沖宮でよろしいですよね。
他にどこに帰んのよ。
I answered straightforwardly with a frown. Kasai then also chose to reply
シ
straightforwardly.
オンさんを全寮制の学園に入学させる決定は園崎本家当主が下したものです。シオンさんはその学園を抜け出した。どういうことかお分かりですね。
ばあさんの決めた学校が私に
シオンさん、
So did she not go home?
合ってるって。うっさいな。
As the head of the Sonozaki family, the Hag's decisions are absolute. They're nothing like, say, the 3-second rule. Worse, the decision to confine me to an academy far away from the Sonozaki family was made before I was even born. Was it for... Shion was the name they gave me. My sister Mion has a character that means demon in her name. That was to signify that she's a successor of demons. In other words, she would be successor to the Sonozaki family and its demonic bloodline. Didn't they say originally that they would, in the past, kill the twins? Or kill the twin, right? And only keep one around? My name Shion has a character that means temple in it. Thank you. This means that I was destined to take the veil and be confined in a temple. Think of that reminds me of how much I hated this name of mine. For starters, a person known as Shion is an abominable being to the Sonozaki family, because it meant the family had 2 heirs. I don't have to cite the countless historical examples to explain. It's easy to imagine how that could prove troublesome for succession. According to our long-held family traditions, one of the twins was to be strangled to death right after birth. Yep. Unbelievable, isn't it? What that means is that I have to be grateful just to be alive and breathing to this day. I heard the hag actually put her hands around my neck right after I was born. I don't know what exchange took place in that moment. Maybe some brave relative of mine managed to get her to stop. Or maybe she was in an extremely good mood that day. Then don't try to strangle me. We're twins. There are no apparent differences between us. But the first one out of my mom's stomach was named Mion, and the second one drew the short straw and got named Shion. Everyone else was desperate to tell us apart, but we sisters... Okay, just found that awfully ridiculous. There wasn't any difference between us. No one could tell us apart, even if we only swapped hats. We wondered why all the grown-ups were trying to see the differences. Well, our fun as twins didn't last forever. One day, they created an undeniable clear distinction between Mion and Shion. Mion went to the main Sonozaki house to live with the hag and to learn how to become the successor. And I was to be confined to St. Lucia's. I have no objections to Sis's inheritance. I used to be jealous, but now I feel that having to learn about and follow the tradition would just make me tired. I even feel sorry for Mion. So I'm going to be a threat to the family even if I'm back in Okinomiya. But the hag doesn't seem to think that way. She thinks of me as some kind of evil omen. That's why she wanted to keep me far away from her. That doesn't matter to me. I don't want to see her face either. I don't care if she doesn't allow me to enter Hinamizawa. She can charge me 10,000 yen per step I take there. But I want her to let me live in Okinomiya where I grew up. When I was little, I was in Hinamizawa, but I don't remember it much. And I'm not very attached to it. I do have good memories of my elementary school days in Okinomiya. The town isn't very sophisticated, but I kind of liked it there.
沖宮の町へ帰れば親族の誰かの目に触れることになります。やがては必ず本家の知るところになります。
ばあさんの耳に入ったらどうなるかってこと？まあそりゃあやばいことにはなるかもね。
お分かりならいいんですがね。
なーに、葛西。あんた今から私に引き返してあそこへ戻れって言ってるわけ？
まさか。そんなことは言いませんよ。私が言いたいのは
相応の覚悟はあるんだろうなってことでしょ。
口先だけでなく本当に理解してるんならいいんですがね。
ま、そうだろうね。万が一の時は脱走の手伝いをした葛西も責任は免れないだろうしね。 葛西も小指に未練があるなら今のうちに小指にいっぱいキスをしておいた方がいいんじゃない？
その時はシオンさんもすまきにされて鬼ヶ淵沼に放り込まれるくらいの覚悟をしてくださいよ。ああ、あるいは本家離れの秘密部屋送りかも。
I heard there's a big torture room in the main Sonozaki house. I've never seen it though. I heard they used to torture and kill the enemies of the village in there. It's just awful, really. I hope I don't end up as a victim of that place.
はいはい、ま、なんとかなるって。
And with that, I gotta get going, chat. Tomorrow we pick up with more Higurashi. Yes, sir. Obviously, we have saber pulls. I'll be responding to all the DMs tonight. And then after that, after HSR, we also have the final Mecha Break sponsor. And then after that, chat, Higurashi for the rest of the night. Yes, sir. So, good night, everybody. Tomorrow, we'll get a nice session, nice long session of Higurashi-hen. I just got here. Hey, listen, okay? It's a shorter stream. Lily just got back from Korea. I'm gonna go have dinner with her.
You forgot 2 hours of Uma and no Higu, yes.
No. All right, chat. 100%, we will not play 2 hours of Uma tomorrow. Real. Okay? Bet. I'm telling you, no 2 hours of Uma. Okay? Damn, bro. No one playing Uma? Oh my god. Bao's playing Uma? Send you guys over to Bao. Good night, everybody. What is that? Okay, she got a nice little cute chibi model. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Damn, Fob. I didn't know you finished 3.2 already. So you started the Higu chapter 5. Shut the fuck up, okay? I just wanted to start Higu, okay? Anyways, good night.